Chu Yingyang is a high school student who is regularly bullied by her classmates. She lost her mother and is an orphan living in a trailer on the riverbank. Despite her difficult situation, she is not discouraged and tries to notice only positive moments. When Janny teases Inchin and throws a coin at her, she picks up the money and thanks her for her help because she will be able to buy something for herself. As she leaves the classroom, Inchin falls down and becomes the victim of more ridicule, but she doesn't get upset and leaves with a smile. At the same time, there are 4 new students in the class: Jackson, Yanj, JB, and Mark. They are not ordinary guys as they have magical powers. Seeing that Inchin is the victim of bullying, the students take revenge on her abusers, putting them in an even more embarrassing position. Climbing onto the roof of the school, Inchin cheers herself up and promises to fight back against the bullies. Upon encountering the guys, she doesn't understand why they're following and runs away, assuming they have bad intentions. At that moment, a famous musical group arrives at the school with 3 members: Junior, Bem, and Yujim. Inchin longs to get to know the lead singer better, and one of the 4 students decides to help by pushing her towards Junior. This creates an awkward situation as the guy falls and the schoolgirl hits him with her elbow between his legs. Inchin has been in love with him for 6 months, ever since she saw him practicing dancing on the roof, but she didn't dare to get closer. Now she finds herself at the center of a scandal, but the group's fans hate her for it. Not to be discouraged, the girl goes to bed, and the next morning screams in horror when she realizes she woke up in bed with 4 guys. Inchin believes that these schoolboys are maniacs who are stalking her. They claim that this is not the first time they have slept next to her, and she has even kissed one of them. The girl does not understand what they are talking about, but she does not have time to find out, as she overslept and is late for school. On the way, Inchin notices 4 girls who are insulted and angry at her because of the situation with the lead singer of a famous music band. The bullies decide to beat up Inchin, so the girl tries to escape. At a crosswalk, she finds herself at a red traffic light and falls down, afraid that she may be hit. A car appears on the road, followed by a biker, but 4 guys defend the girl and settle the conflict, turning the traffic jam into a gathering of dancing drivers. On the doorstep of the school, the girl is met by Janny and tries to insult her again. The 4 boys chase after Inchin and defend her again, offending the bully. Janny takes the words of the schoolboys painfully, and it becomes clear that she takes revenge on Inchin and offends only because she always stayed in second place. The guys liked Inchin and studied better, so Janny has always been behind her back and only now gets a chance to get revenge for everything. During recess, 4 bullies throw water on Inchin, but they are met by her night protectors. They try to peacefully resolve the conflict with the girls, after which they start fighting and use magic to overpower them. In the evening, Inchin returns to the trailer and sees it a mess, assuming someone has been here. As it turns out, 4 guys were waiting for her and brought the bullies in to apologize to her on their knees. After thanking the knights, the girl tries to escort them out, but the guys claim they live and will be spending the night in her trailer. The girl won't let the guys on the trailer's doorstep and tries to chase them away, still a little distrustful of her saviors. At the same moment, she gets a call from her aunt, who informs her that her nephew, whom she hasn't seen in a while, is coming to visit and has no place to stay. Inchin assumes that one of the 4 guys is her relative, and the guys confirm her speculation, realizing that lying is easier than telling the truth. Inchin still won't let the knights into the trailer, but it's not a problem for them since they can sleep in beds outside. In the evening, the girl watches old videos of her late mother, resulting in her falling asleep. Waking up in the morning, she gets scared when she sees the guys in the house, but she tries to get used to them, because they are her cousin and his friends. They have money for food, so the guys decide to earn money by dancing in the hall of the shopping center. While collecting donations from the audience, In-hyun accidentally meets Chansun, a famous Korean singer who generously paid for the guys dancing. He would like to ask the girl out on a date, but she and her new friends head to the store to buy groceries and take a photo next to a poster of her beloved Junior. Upon returning to the trailer, the guys promise to do everything themselves and make dinner so the girl can rest. Seizing the opportunity, one of them texts the aunt's real-life son to not show up. As it turns out, the cousin was in no hurry to visit, as he fell in love with a local girl. Everything seems to be fine, but in the evening the guys accidentally break the video camera, which recorded pleasant memories with Inchin's late mother. After learning about what happened, the girl chases the knights away by pouring a bucket of water on them. Once she asks them to disappear and closes the door, the four guys do indeed disappear without a trace. After chasing the guys away, Inchin cries over the camera, not sure what to do, as she suddenly notices that her four ragman dolls have become wet. The girl hangs them outside to dry, not realizing that the four schoolboys who have become her knights and protectors are the very same dolls. At school, the girl is asked to clean up after gym class, but she can't carry heavy things alone. Unexpectedly, Junior appears in the hall, who not only gets to know the girl, but also asks her to help him with his studies. He is willing to help in return, but runs away because of the crowd of fans, resulting in him dropping a heavy object on the girl's leg. Inchin learns to live with the broken leg and walks down the stairs as she suddenly falls, but is caught by JB. He and three companions appear out of nowhere but are ready to help the girl get home. They take the camcorder to the handyman and do everything they can to persuade him to fix the old equipment. Inchin is no longer angry with the guys and they make up, starting to spend time as friends again. In the evening, the four friends fulfill all of Inchin's requests, but at one point, three of them decide to run away to rest. JB takes care of Inchin's broken leg and cooks her dinner. At one point, the pair touch hands and they find it romantic. A little later, one of the guys meets Janny at the diner and learns that she is not as bad a person as she seems at school. JB tries to help Inchin up, but the couple falls on the bed and accidentally kiss. The three companions return from a walk and catch the couple in an awkward position. Inchin and JB make excuses that there is nothing between them, but in private, they each think that they feel sympathy and would like the kiss to happen again. The next morning, the girl learns about a dance contest, the winners of which will be able to invite musicians from a famous band to dance. Inchin dreams of dancing with Junior, but realizes that the chances are minimal due to a leg injury. Once at school, the girl meets a classmate who has returned from China. She hopes that Missin will help prepare for the competition, but her friend betrays her, deciding to become Janny's partner. The bully makes fun of Inchin, but the four boys defend her again, claiming they will dance with the girl and help her win. Inchin doesn't need their help and leaves to be alone. Diving into the past, the girl remembers how she injured her leg as a child, but her mother supported her in her time of need. A few years later, her mother was gone, and relatives took advantage of the girl's naivete by taking away everything but the trailer. Soon after, the doctor said she was unlikely to walk in the future, but Inchin was not broken even by that. When the girl cried, the rag dolls magically came to life and turned into their knights. JB tries to be sincere and, keeping Inchin in the present, tells it all. A few days later, Inchin gets her cast off and Janny realizes she has a crush on Junior and wants to win the school competition to dance with him. Inchin starts practicing with her friends, but they notice that the girl moves terribly and has no sense of rhythm. JB makes her work harder and asks her to train her legs by attaching small dumbbells to them. A little later, the musicians are interviewed and realize that they have no friends. Trying to prove otherwise, Junior calls his friend Inchin and offers her dance lessons. The girl still has little success, but the four friends defend her, claiming that it is Junior who is a bad dancer. A dance competition begins between the knights and the musicians, which arouses the interest of school children and journalists. The guys take turns competing against each other and showing off their best dancing skills to prove their superiority. Afterwards, the journalists decide to shoot a video of Junior in class, but Inchin winks at him. Taking this as a signal, the lead singer and the girl run away. On the way, Inchin falls and hits her knee, but Junior gives her a pocket fan so that her wounds don't hurt so much. Not only is JB jealous of the musician for the girl, but he uses magic to freeze him and take Inchin for himself. After JB and Inchin escape, Junior realizes that this is no ordinary guy and hardly human, because no one is capable of something like this. In the evening, Junior meets up with his music band mates and tells them about it. The guys guess that all four schoolboys are not ordinary people and decide to come up with a plan to expose them. In the morning, Inchin hurries to school and does not notice that she loses her toys, as a result of which they remain in the trailer. A little later, the girl continues to prepare for the dance, but JB constantly criticizes her, thus showing his jealousy of Inchin to Junior. After that, the musicians meet the guys and offer friendship. The knights naively agree, but one of them again observes Janie and does not understand why she calls the mother of two women at once. The musicians have prepared a series of trials for the knights to test their skills. To do this, they pit the schoolchildren against a crowd of bullies to get rid of them with the help of magic, but not everything goes according to plan. Bem also tries to test one of the knights, but instead gets into an awkward situation and meets a beautiful girl. JB and Inchin reconcile, but the guy gets jealous of the girl again because of the annoying musician. After several experiments, Bem realizes that guys disappear when exposed to water and informs Junior about it. Meanwhile, he and JB escort the girl home. She decides to clean up the trailer to invite the guys over, but they both mysteriously disappear. The musicians invite the knights for a private conversation, during which they reveal that they were also knights. They appear when one cries with grief and disappear with tears of happiness. The three musicians got out of this loop and refused to protect the girl, resulting in her ending her life. JB wants to see if there are other options, but Junior saddens him by informing him that either the girl or the four of them will survive. After learning the brutal truth, the four knights pull away from Inchin to figure out what they want. A little later, Mark makes a friend and skateboards, realizing that he likes to have fun. Janj plays the piano and enjoys the listening crowd, and Jackson helps sell prepared food to Janie, realizing he has a crush on her. The girl shows interest in him, and this causes the knight to start questioning how he should proceed. Inchin trains all day alone, but JB watches her, remembering that he has been her favorite doll since she was a little girl. He decides to sacrifice himself and be with Inchin until the end, but his friends are willing to abandon their mission. Junior warns that the decision must be a joint one, because if even one of them leaves, Inchin will lose her life. JB is willing to do anything, but the other knights want to be human and won't sympathize if Inchin loses her life because of their wishes. Realizing that his loyal friends are willing to be betrayed, JB pounces on them with his fists. He is ready to fight for Inchin's happiness until his last breath, so he asks his comrades to fight one-on-one and knock each one out in a fair fight. Junior and his friends watch from afar and rejoice that they were able to break up the knights. In the evening, Inchin notices that the boys have broken faces and tries to figure out what happened, but they ignore her. Worried about her friends, she talks to her dolls and admits to herself that for the first time in a long time she doesn't feel alone. Talking to her dolls, Inchin still doesn't realize that these are the guys who have been protecting her throughout her life. The next morning, the knights reflect on the rightness of their decision, and JB kneels before them, begging them not to split up so that Inchin can continue to live and be happy. He reminds them that they only came into existence because of the girl and should serve her, but the three companions think otherwise. Junior overhears them and recalls his story. A few years ago, he, Bem, and Jukim were the three knights of a rich official's daughter. Junior fell in love with the girl and wanted to become a man for her, but she chose another. Disappointed, the boys stopped protecting her, resulting in the rich man's daughter settling the score with her life. In the evening, while the girl continues to train hard and learn to dance, Mark, Janj, and Jackson realize that they are not doing good to Inchin. She always treated them as friends and talked to the dolls as if they were alive. Now she's doing her best for them, and the guys can't do something so unconscionable. Realizing this, they decide to live for Inchin and rush to the roof of the school to help her learn to dance. The four knights approach their friend, but Junior notices this and kisses Inchin, asking her to be his girlfriend. Inchin and Junior go on a romantic date, but it turns out to be a terrible one because of the singer being recognized by everyone and feeling awkward. JB wants to understand why the girl is doing this, but she ignores him thinking about Junior. Meanwhile, the singer is working out and realizes that he has fallen in love for the first time in a long time and wants to be near Inchin. The next morning, Junior calls the girl, warning her of his imminent visit. Afraid that he will see her friends in the trailer, the girl chases the knights away. Soon Junior appears, having organized a truly romantic date for Inchin. During dinner, the girl remembers that JB also fed her, and it seemed really nice. A little later, she remembers that JB had invited her to a concert and runs off to see him, but she is late. Disappointed, the guy left without waiting for her. Inchin cries, but the famous singer Chanson asks people not to disperse and help in the search for JB. After hearing Inchin's words about himself, the guy returns and forgives the girl, after which she faints and falls into his arms, while Junior watches from the sidelines. JB takes Inchin to the hospital, where she learns that the disease is progressing and soon the girl will become a cripple, unable to move. In the evening, she cries and communicates with her mother's ghost, begging for a little more strength to be able to dance her last dance. The next morning, Inchin meets Junior and proposes to break up as she has realized that she loves JB and wants to be with him. The girl decides to spend the next few days preparing for the school dance tournament. She and the 4 knights train hard from morning until evening to become a perfect team with synchronized movements. Overjoyed at their success, JB and Inchin go on their first romantic date and buy matching sneakers to look like a real couple in love. In the evening, JB and Inheen visit a clothing store and do a photo shoot in superhero costumes and wedding outfits. Jackson finally admits to Janie that he is in love with her and spends the evening with her, trying to teach the girl how to dance. At the same time, the rest of the knights are becoming closer friends with the musicians, realizing that they have a lot in common. In the evening, JB and Inchin kiss, after which they return to the trailer, where the knights had prepared a surprise party for them. On the morning of the dance competition day, Inchin rushes to school, but Junior stops her to talk. The musician tells the girl the truth about everything, from the fact that the 4 friends are rag dolls who magically became boyfriends, to the fact that he too was once a doll, but was able to become a man. The girl is having a hard time with all of this and tries to realize whether Junior was telling the truth or not. Remembering happy moments and awkward situations, Inchin becomes convinced that Jackson, Junior, Mark and JB are her dolls that she carries on her backpack. Meanwhile, the guys are very worried because the dance festival has started and the girl is still missing. JB tries to find her, but he is unsuccessful. Soon Inchin appears at school and prepares for their common performance. The 5 perform beautifully on stage, but at the last moment the girl becomes ill and faints. Doctors come on stage, but it turns out that it's all part of the act, as Bem, Yujim and Junior, who became the judges of the project, agreed to dance with the girl and specially dressed up as emergency room doctors. Having danced with 7 guys at once, the beauty feels like Snow White and lets down a cherished happy tear. After the performance, the guys want to tell Inchin the truth, but she already knows that they are her knights turned into people from dolls. She thanks the guys for being there for her and becoming true friends. As soon as the trio hugs her, the guys disappear, which shocks Inchin. She doesn't want her friends to disappear, but that is their fate. JB again confesses his love to the girl and disappears after kissing her. Inchin cries bitterly over what happened as Junior did not warn her that they would disappear. The musician could not tell the whole truth and sympathizes with the girl, after which he returns her repaired video camera. Finding there a farewell letter from JB, Inchin is sad, but looks out for her friends who have become stars in the night sky. A year later, she is walking with a friend on the waterfront when she suddenly notices a guy wearing the same red sneakers. Looking up, Inchin realizes it's JB, who has returned to the human world to be with her.